The lesson.
Oh yeah.
Now, for the people who are not necessarily familiar with, I guess your background, your history, tell us first of all, like where exactly you're from.
Right. I grew up in a place called Campbelltown in southwest Sydney. It's about an hour southwest of Sydney CBD. And it's an awesome place, man. I mean, when I grew up, it was a pretty rough area, and there's a lot of crime and violence and that sort of stuff, and it's easy to fall into that sort of hole. But at the same time, there's a lot of inspiring things going on around it, and it's one of the most culturally diverse places in the world. So, it's quite interesting like that, It's awesome. It made me who I am coming from there, bro. For sure.
And so you've been there you're still living there now?
Well, not at the moment. No, I have my baby girl and started a family. We moved up North Coast just a little bit, a few hours north. But, I give my daughter the best opportunity I can, man, But, the place always holds big spot in my heart, man. My family lives there still, and, it's my home, man. Seatown.
People would refer to it as the hood, But as me personally, as someone that's never been there, I got no idea. And I think Kerser really put the place on the map. I mean, I think it was catching... It might have been...
Definitely.
Catching wreck before that for other various reasons.
Yeah, within Sydney it was. But I think he put it on the map, like, nationwide, hey? Definitely. Look, the thing about Campbelltown, like Liverpool, like Fairfield, like a lot of southwest Sydney, is that in the 70s and 80s they put public housing blocks there, thinking it was going to work, and then we had areas, and Campbelltown happened to be an area where there was a few of those housing blocks within Campbelltown. Those Aids, Minto, Claymore, Macfields, Glenfield. There's more, heaps more. I don't know. That's all within the one town. So that's obviously where, got its rep from. There was drug and violence within those housing blocks and stuff, and I guess that's why it was looked at as a ghetto. Now they've knocked a lot of those down, those places. More than half I named there are gone and rebuilt into flats. And they're trying to just spread everybody out now. So,
it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Yeah, you can understand.
Yeah.
Why a place where people were segregated with no money, drugs and violence, man, things are going to happen. The town's going to get a rep because of it. People are going to be the product of that town. People are a product of their environment.
So tell us how you got into the whole music thing.
And that's a big story, eh? Like I said, growing up there, I had a lot of influences around me, I was lucky, man. School I went to, and a lot of mates, and even the other kids around it. There was a lot of underground music happening. Like there was a lot of hip hop. There's a lot of underground punk rock and hardcore, and things like that as well. And they were sort of really mixed. There was this underground network where whatever gig was on, you'd go down to. So we had a lot of different influences and stuff. And there was a big like do-it-yourself theme, and from bands who did come from Southwest Sydney and Sydney in general at that time. So I was really inspired by this underground movement then, and my cousins got me into music too when I was starting. Like they were musicians and stuff, and they were always playing instruments. And my grandparents, my nan was a piano player and stuff, and she was always playing piano when I was young. My pop was a drummer, and it was just, I felt it was in the blood, man. I loved music from day one, and fuck, how I got into it. Like I said, being influenced at that age, growing up there, with all that going on around me, it was perfect timing for me to just to go home and have my thoughts myself, man, pick up a guitar and try and learn that, and try and learn how to play drums, and just get involved and do what was happening around me, man. It was so inspiring, And I think where I'm from has a big part to play for me getting into that sort of stuff. Kerser too, all of us.
So now tell us about, I guess, your relationship with Kerser, because he's is it your older or younger brother?
Younger brother, bro, yeah. He's year and a half younger than me, and he's my brother, bro. Hey, I couldn't be more proud of him as an older brother. I mean, I guess not many older brothers can say they, can look up to their younger brother too, and that's an awesome feeling, man. And we've also got another younger brother named Troy, and he's my king too. You know, he's got Down syndrome. He's a beautiful young staunch little boy, and both my younger brothers inspire me like you wouldn't believe, man. You know, but yeah, my relationship with my brothers is real, bro. Especially Kerser and Troy. You know.
So tell us, was Kerser doing the hip hop thing before you were, or?
Yeah, bro. Kerser's been mad keen since he was young, eh? Like, I couldn't put an age on it, maybe 12, 13, 14, man. Like, pen and rhymes, jacket beats, pen and rhymes, like, going back over old instrumentals, turning them down you know, how we all used to, man. Turn the cassette down and rap over just so you can hear the beat just a little bit and not enough for their voice. Bro, he was doing that when he was young as, you know. But when he started taking it serious, he was still quite young, man. He was 15, 16, and he'd go all the way out to Party Pig Studios. Shout out to Party Pig. I think they were out of Blacktown or something like that, you know, inner west or outer west. And yeah, he'd go out there, and for every week, man, every couple of weeks, he'd record 5 or 6 tracks, bring it home on a blank CD for the boys, full songs, choruses, 3 16-bar verses, most of them. We were just like, what the fuck, clean as recording, like. And I always knew, man. I knew, and he knows this. You know, I told him from day, you're gonna go somewhere with this, man. Like, rapping's his thing, man. Like, it's a big part of his personality, man. You know, and yeah, fucking, he just kept going, and we're still witnessing it grow now today, man. You know,
Yeah,
I can't
man.
wrap it up now.
It's a phenomenon
Still
now.
witnessing it. Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So
Crazy.
what stage of his career did you get involved in the rap thing yourself?
Well, I was always like actively writing rhymes and stuff, but I never you know believed in myself enough to take it quite as serious as Kerser. Like, he had this special sort of energy going on, you know, and I felt I did too, but a different type, you know, and sort of sat back, and I was playing in bands at the time. I was trying to learn as much as I could musically. I was playing guitar and drums, and we're doing like hip hop hardcore crossovers and punk rock crossovers and stuff like that. And yeah, I sort of always went back to the traditional style of hip hop and wanted to I was inspired by Kerser massively, bro, like him blowing up and stuff, and it was just inspiring me to, okay, I can make this a career, it's what I do anyway, you know, let's go hard. And now seeing how my music has related and helped people, that's when it was like a big thing for me. Like, when I seen how some messages I got and spoke to some people, how they'd relate, and in ways that I didn't think would be possible, you know what I mean? And it's overwhelming, man, and that was like, fuck, I've got to keep doing this, I can't stop now. I still feel that way today, you know? I was saying to Benny yesterday, or he actually said to me, he goes, bro, how do people ever get to a point in their music career where they're like, I've had enough, bro, I'm going to call it quits? Because, like, I know music-obsessed people who are like, fuck, I don't ever see that happening, man, you know? And I feel I'm like that, I feel Kerser's like that, I feel Jay's like that, I feel Benny's like that, I feel my team's like that, and that gives me pride, man, you know, strength in our team.
Tell us a little bit about some of the tours that you've done.
Man, yeah, well, the touring's crazy, man, you know, like, it started with Kerser, like, obviously getting to a level where he could go interstate and have people rock up at shows and stuff, and it was when he released his first album, Nebulizer. The first tour of that was crazy. We started off in Sydney, and we rocked up thinking, oh, you know, we might get a fair turnout, like, it's Kerser's hometown. It was fucking crazy, man. It was packed, and like, that energy just never stopped. We went to Melbourne, and it was bigger. We went to Adelaide, it was bigger, you know, and that's still going today, man. Still outgrowing venues, still, yeah, you know, it's crazy, man. And to be a part of that ABK team with Kerser, to get to do those sort of high energy shows, like anyone who's been to a Kerser show will tell you, they're high energy. There's something about those shows, man. And I believe that's very true, man. And I believe that's the same for all of us at ABKA. I believe you come to a rate show, you're going to feel some high energy too, you know, same as JD's show, you're going to feel some high energy. And I think that's been the focus for us, is to have those high energy when we're writing our songs and when we're performing them, you know. So it's awesome when that reflects in the crowd and they're buzzing, that, you know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
What year was the Nebulizer tour?
That was 2011.
Okay, so we're 2016 heading towards the end. So we're talking about 5 years.
Yeah.
So in that 5 years, you know, you guys have done a few shows and done a few tours.
That's right.
What are some like memorable moments to this day that you've got?
Fuck. Man, Like I got some, like I said, walking out onto a hi-fi bar at the Kerser No Rest for the Sickest tour. That was fucking crazy, man. I'd never heard a crowd that fucking loud. I'd never felt like that, man. They didn't stop. Like, he walked out and this crowd was fucking crazy, man. Like, and it just didn't stop, man. Like, that buzz, it just didn't stop, man. It was fucking crazy. And that's my most memorable touring moment, to be honest, man. We've got some crazy fucking stories. I've ended up fucking drunk and passed out in a bar, fucking nearly drowning myself before many a time, you know? But, fuck, man. Yeah, it comes back to the music, the most memorable moments. Yeah, definitely that tour. Like, he's had bigger shows since, but that realisation, like, fuck, my brother's killing it, man. This is crazy, like, to be part of that show too. Can't explain it, man.
What's one of the craziest, say, fan reactions you've seen on a tour?
Fuck, man. Oh, man, I've seen girls scream at, like, all right, I've seen Kerser, like, my brother, fucking wipe his face with his towel all night, you know, spitting in it, wiping his face, drinking, like, fucking spitting in it, and he's throwing it at this chick. She's like, oh, she's like rubbing her face, and he's like, yes, fucking, pretty much fucking putting it down her pants, man, you know, shit, that was, and I was thinking, oh, Scott was laughing, funny shit, man, you know, I've seen some crazy reactions.
Now, one thing I found out recently that I didn't know is that you used to battle.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that, you know, that point in time for you.
Before the a cappella battles, me and Kers, Jay used to do a lot of freestyle battles in Sydney, you know, that scene was really cool like that. You could rock up and there was real mad characters like Benji and, I could name 100, I ended up missing them out, you know. But yeah, it'd just be awesome, and you could get up, freestyle to the beats, it'd be mad vibe and funny, so you'd sort of learn how to freestyle and quick wit, and I'd always try and do it rhythmically to win, you know. Then it come to the a cappella battles where it was like written bars and stuff, and I just half the time rock up thinking you could freestyle and shit, and some dude had been home writing moldies and putting them together, and I'd be like, fuck, and it's just, I realised that, you know, I had some cool battles, I enjoyed it. That time of my life I was, you know, on pretty hard drugs and stuff too, you know, and I wasn't in sync with myself, man, and, you know, if I'd love to come back one day and show people and do a proper battle and show them, like, what rates you can do in a battle, but we'll leave that for a later date.
Well,
if there's any takers, there never is. Hit me up.
Who would you really enjoy battling?
Oh, man,
if you could pick someone.
I don't know, bro. I don't like a lot of people, but there's a lot of people I like too, you know. But I'm not going to name them, to be straight up. No, bro. I couldn't tell you one straight up, you know. But I'm sure I'd like to battle someone like that I respect in a way too, like respect their skill and shit, and so I have to push myself, you know, test myself. But yeah, main thing I want to come back and show what I can really do in that arena. But it'll run its course, man. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Now tell us about the single, "The Enemy" off the recent album, because I told you before that was the joint that really caught my attention.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that it resonated with a few people, that one, man. I guess I tried to not get too PC or politically driven with it. Obviously it is because of the song, but when I wrote it, I thought I'll strip it back to facts, plain facts, in punchlines, so no one can really argue it. So if they want to argue these facts, go fact check them yourself, do your own research, and then come back and tell me I was wrong. So I've always wanted to speak political, or not political, but speak conscious in music, man, you know? I always try to, but it's kind of hard because, you know, at the same time, I'm still learning too, man, what's going on. But it got to a point where, fuck, I've got to say something here. You know, I've got to talk about what's going on, what's happening to my community, communities around us, countries around us, horrible things, you know? I thought, I've got to write this, man. I thought, if I strip it back to facts, like I said, nobody can argue that. And I felt I did that, man. I feel that's one of my truest tracks because of it. You know, I do that with all my music, but the fact that I really sat down and thought about every word that I was saying there, you know, and I just hope, I know there's people out there who believe the same things, understand the same things, are awake to the same things. I just hope that, you know, I had those songs for me that woke me up and made me realise what was going on, and, you know, that there is people out there that don't generally want the best for us. And I hope this is one of them songs for other people listening, you know. I hope it can sort of wake them up to what's really going on.
So when you titled it The Enemy, who is the enemy?
Okay, see, this could be like, we could go into history here, we could do anything, man. You know, at the end of the day, okay, we could name people, we could name bankers, we could name Rothschilds, we could name Rockefellers, we could name all of that, we could name the royal family, we could name hundreds of dynasties across the country, we could name all sorts of shit, right? At the end of the day, greed is the enemy, okay? And these evil entities are the enemy, man, okay? And there is people in the entertainment industry way up, Hollywood, fucking horrible, like the entertainment industry and the arts industry is huge for it. There's things that are in this country, you know, and these evil entities, and they believe they feed off these dark energies and entities and stuff, man. And these people who are believe these things and are in these private whatever, they have over time become in positions of power, okay? And they did that also through the entertainment industry, through music, through that. They did that through banking, through the economy, through playing the stock game. They did it through that. They did it. They became in positions of power so they could influence our government with certain policies and stuff. These are fucking bad people I just went straight to it and said straight. So yeah, that shit does happen. People believe in that sort of stuff. These people are now in a position of power, and I believe that's fucking where we have to stand up against those sorts of people in power. They're the fucking enemy. Those evil entities that are pushing that's the fucking enemy. And at the end of the day, love is the only thing that's real. You know, that's not real. And if we keep acknowledging that it's real and stay asleep, it's going to get realer, you know. But if we wake up and realize that love's the only thing, and these entities, look what they're doing to us, let's fight back, let's wake up. All we have to do is stand up and their game's over. Wake up, you know what I mean? And it's done. Okay, then we can move on. Love's the only thing that works from here. So when you ask me that, I believe that those dark entities, those people that are influenced by those dark entities that are in a position of power, they're the enemy. And yeah, I hope I get that across, man. I'm going to write more songs about it on the new album, you know? Just be very motivated like that about it.
Have you had any issues since putting out that song? Because I remember just like the visuals really hit me.
Yeah.
It was pretty quick to be like, this is, I guess, quote unquote anti-establishment type joint, which I loved. Yeah. I was like, yeah, word, this is dope. But have you had any backlash or?
Look, not that I've noticed. You know, I get pulled over by the police all the fucking time and searched down to under the carpet sometime. You know, it's fucking ridiculous, man. But that's been going on for a while before I dropped the track. You know, they like to hassle what they don't understand, you know. But I don't know, my Facebook shit, you know, I have to boost it to get more likes and shit like that now. As soon as I started posting conscious shit and started fucking speaking my mind, and you know, okay, here's one for you. You know how you type in your status on Facebook and it's like, as soon as you start typing, it's like, what's he thinking? Political thoughts or family or something like that. As soon as I started fucking posting ones that said political thoughts, my fucking likes went down, man. Work that out.
That's interesting.
Post
man.
a fucking stupid meme about some stupid shit, get 1,000 likes.
Yeah, well, I think the masses maybe, you know, it's hard, that social awareness, that consciousness is not something that people pick up easily. It takes time.
That's right, bro. And it does, you know. Yeah, that's another thing, man. I can't just expect to come along like I've got all the answers and wake people up. Like, it did take me a long time to realise what was going on and that I was a victim myself, you know. But, yeah, it is what it is.
Now, you talk about getting pulled over. And searched and harassed by 5-0. And you mentioned that it's before, you know, you were even doing the rap and stuff.
Yeah.
Tell us, I know that the Sydney, you know, 5-0 and Sydney have a real reputation. I've even seen some pretty wild shit.
Fuck the 5-0 in Sydney, man. They're fucked, man. No.
Now, yeah, I mean, as someone I've been to Sydney once for like a day or two, so it doesn't really count. Tell us a bit about the situation with the police over there.
Yeah, man, I honestly believe that the police in Sydney, particularly southwest Sydney, even coastal areas, man, like Newcastle and Coffs Harbour and right up the coast, they're creating a divide, man. They're trying to create a a racial divide, man. It's fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Like, let's take Southwest Sydney for instance. When I grew up, it's like that's where a lot of not as well off people ended up. So they're like, let's put everybody here, you know. So we had a mad mix of everybody. Our communities would share. You know what I mean? Like, we had a mad mixed community of everybody, man. It was awesome. And then the last 10, 15 years, when all this divide in America and other places in the world is going on, it's like our police are also, it seems to me, enforcing the same things and trying to create the same divide. There's not these community programs anymore. There's not these PCYC programs anymore. There's not these youth gatherings and stuff to get interconnection and stuff, understanding and stuff together anymore. There's none of that anymore. There's like more of a divide and they're like pushing it. You know what I mean? I reckon they're influenced by this fucking new world order or whatever that honestly is happening over the last 10 to 15 years that I've witnessed in that way, a divide, you know, and the police force, they're fucking huge perpetrators of that. Probably, yeah, definitely a huge part of that.
Now, when you talk about divide, I instantly remember the Cronulla riots.
Yeah. See how the media played in a massive part in that? Would anybody have known? They're like, look at this text message that's getting sent out to everybody. Here it is, everybody. Read it. So everybody who watches the news just got that text message. Who watches the news at fucking 6 o'clock every night? Dumb fuckheads. So who gets on the train and rocks up to fucking Cronulla? Dumb fuckheads. And who fucking put that text message out there? Media. You know? There's another one for you. The media, they work with the police of this shit. It's like, it's a planned attack. And it's been going on for 10, 15. It's been going on longer, but it's been in force the last 10, 15 years, man. And it's noticeable now. We notice, motherfuckers. We notice.
So is that near where you stay at, where the Cronulla riots?
No, I'm a fair bit north of there now. The Cronulla was about an hour and a half, a bit over an hour from Campbelltown, southwest Sydney. So, you know, if we wanted to go to the beach and stuff, we'd have to catch a train out to Cronulla. And on that day, every fuckhead would jump on the train and go out to Cronulla. You know, fuckwits. Why would you do that? Seriously.
I don't know, man.
Fucking idiots, man. It was so embarrassing, man. It was really embarrassing. I think a lot of people were embarrassed about that. And it's the furthest thing from the truth. Like I said, everybody was mixed, man. It was fucking cool, you know? I had Asians, Samoans, Lebos in my class. We're all mates. You know?
You're how old? You're 30?
I'm 30 years old, bro. Yeah. 86er. Born 86.
So you went through, obviously you were a teenager in the 90s,
Yeah.
early 2000s or whatnot, around that.
My golden era.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Tell us about your golden era, you know.
Yeah. For me, like, as a listener and as a music lover, I think, like, when my cousins got me into the underground stuff in, let's say, in 97, when I was like 11, 12, to when I was, to let's say 2003, when I was, you know, 15, 16 or whatever, like, I discovered some awesome music that I didn't completely understand then, but I'd bought CDs in that time, and as I was getting older, I'm like, fuck, I got a dope collection now, I got some mad shit, like, and still today, that's the shit I listen to. So to me, that's obviously my golden era, you know, and I'm still, as I'm getting older, understanding that music more now and loving it more, you know, and all mixed of styles of music, all styles.
So who are some of your favourite hip-hop?
Hip-hop, at the start, for me, like at an early young age, would have been Tupac. As a songwriter, he grabbed me and I understood he was rhyming and stuff within bars and stuff, you know. And, but my favourite would go on to be, no doubt, Big Pun or K-Reno or Eminem or... Eminem was a huge influence, as he was on all of us in that era, you know. Everybody wanted to rhyme like Infinite, you know, and then Big Pun, man, probably. You're saying it to my, something's in my head going, Big Pun, you know.
Yeah, well, he was, I reckon I'd put him in my top 5, I think.
Yeah, he went hard, bro. My brother listened to a lot of cool shit. He loved, like, he was a real late 90s to maybe 2005 was his real golden era. So he loved a lot of Lloyd Banks, a lot of Tony Yayo sort of stuff, Fabulous and shit like that. And that was always, I love that stuff too, man. Like, it was cool watching him go through get inspired by that, and I can hear it in his music today. Like if you look at Fabulous and look at Kerser, you can see some like real cool similarity. I've never heard that, man. You know, I've told him that, but I haven't heard. It surprised me that I haven't heard that elsewhere. You know, like
we interviewed the Saurus.
Yeah, true.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, was he annoying or what?
It wasn't a couple of weeks ago. It would have been about a month ago.
Yeah, true. I seen it. I didn't watch it, but he fucking annoys me too much, to be honest, bro. Can't stand him.
Now, you guys have some history.
Yeah.
Can you fill us in on what?
Oh man, it goes back to when we started in this battle scene, right? Went down to Melbourne and we were watching the a cappella battles and shit. Like I said, it blown up then. And he was killing shit. It was grind time. He was world rap champion or some shit. And we were like, fuck, he's fucking mad. You know, he rocks up. So we're like, sick. For Saurus, you're mad. Fucking have a spliff, have this and that. Fucking, you know, this fucking, you're a sick. Fucking, you know, let's have a spliff together. Let's fucking have a drink. You know, he's like, yeah. Goes back, fucking, a year later, Kerser's blown up. He's like, I don't understand why fucking Kerser's blown up. I met him and he was such a fanboy. He was this and that. I'm like, I remember Kerser wasn't the I was the one saying, have a spliff. You're a mag, you know, and I'm not fanboy. And like, it's being how you are when you meet at the time someone you look up to, bro, you know? And he's like, oh, fuck, I don't understand these guys. And he just had a real chip on his shoulder that Kerser blew up, bro. You could see it. He's like, fully didn't understand why, and he just didn't like Kerser, man. So fuck this cunt, you know? So I'm like, fucking, well, we'll see you when you get here, you know? Something like that. Fuck it, I'd hate internet shit, man. You know what I mean? So I'm like, fuck it. It fucking blew up, and he's like, oh, then he come and did a battle. Every fucking state, he come and did some battles for Don't Flop or Got Beef or whoever. I Got Beef or Real Talk or whatever it was back then. And he went to every state except for Sydney. And at the end of every battle, you can check this, would have been 2013, 14, probably 14. He'd go, Kerser and Reeds, and then he'd fucking finish his battle. It was the gayest shit, but he didn't come to Sydney. You know, he went, everyone wanted to say it. So we're like, this motherfucker. You know, he got really irritating and annoying, man, like overnight. And he just fell off, man. His career went nowhere. He didn't drop music. It was no good, his music that he was doing anyway. A lot of people, you know, were sick of his generic rap battle style. I'll hit with the bap of the bat, and then I'll come back with the bap of the bat, and the bap of the bat will get the bap of the bat. Shut the fuck up. Blap of the bat. Fucking wrong. Oh, that's alright, man. He's a flop. He's a fucking loser. He ended up fucking getting some fucking girlfriend, and then it came out. She was like, Pete chained me in my room, sitting at his keyboard, sweating all day. So fucking horrible, you know. He's a man.
Oh, shit. So there's been no sort of, obviously there's no plans on reconciliation or...
Nah, I mean, I'd love to see him and like fucking punch him square in his big American mouth, man, eh? To be honest with you.
Are there any...
It's just all talk until it happens, you know? And he loves that shit. So we'll just let it go until it happens, man.
Are there any battle dudes that you're really digging at the moment?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Greeley and Manazil when it comes to Aussie battlers, man. Like those dudes have massive skill, bro. Like they've proven it time and time again. But yeah, there's a lot of other battlers in the country that are good themselves. Manners had a sick battle with that BK Ultra lately, and that was really cool. That dude came strong, man. Manners went super hard, as he does, bro. He's boss, but yeah, that dude ripped it. There's a lot of battle rappers that are good. Dundee's killing shit, man, at the moment. Went over to Don't Flop in Canada and just killed it, man. Did so good, and it was a good impression because he gave, like, Aussies have had an impression by American battle rappers is like, we've sent a few fuck ups, you know. We sent 60 and we sent some fucking nervous people, and like 60 could have done well, don't get me wrong, bro, but and he did all right, but they got the wrong impression of what Aussie hip hop was. So, and Dunners went there and gave it a strong, tougher impression without being a fuckwit, you know, and it looked really cool doing it, man. And I think he gained a lot of fans doing that. So watch the Dunners a lot. I like American battle rappers, Calico. I think he's raw, underrated. His delivery's sick.
Calico's dope.
He is, man. His music's sick too. He's like, you can tell he's a gangster.
One of my favourite battle rappers from Australia is Purpose.
Yeah, true. Yeah, Purpose kills it, man.
And I have been keeping an eye on Dundee and seeing he's really doing his thing. And I actually reckon Purpose versus Dundee.
That'd be a sick battle, man. Yeah, it's happened. I'm sure it's happened, hasn't it? Are you sure?
I don't
Bro, you're
know.
probably right, actually. Because they were the Don't Flop. They were both going to be qualifiers, I think, to get sent over there. But I don't think they ended up battling.
I don't know of it going down. But even if it did go down...
That'd be filth, eh? That'd be mad. That would be a sick battle. G it up. G it up.
I'd love to. Purpose.
Yeah, Dunners and
Dundee.
Purpose. Do it.
If you guys is down,
That'd be cool.
I'll tee it up. I'd love to tee that up.
That'd be cool, man.
And yeah, I mean, I think that would be a classic.
Yeah.
And I honestly
I agree,
think,
man. I agree, for sure.
I honestly think that would possibly be, you know, one of the most anticipated battles since maybe Kerser and 60.
Fuck, man, that's true. Yeah, big call. It's, yeah, definitely. Now with the buttons that Dunners has and stuff, and overseas was, yeah, for sure.
And Purpose is a seasoned vet in the game.
That's right, man. Yeah,
Very
he's going to step
polished.
solid and very solid and
Different styles.
yeah, you can't sleep on him. That's for sure.
Definitely
At all,
not.
yeah. And he's still going hard. Like he's not going to want to back down. So, but it would be a sick battle, bro. Thinking about it,
Yeah.
it would be sick.
But yeah, so I think that that would be the next classic if it happened next to 60 versus Kerser.
Yeah,
Now that was, and the one before that I really remember was Delta versus Hijack.
yeah,
In the Battle of Supremacy days.
yeah.
So those two battles are the ones that really stand out for me. Different formats, but classic
They
in
were,
their
yeah.
own era, in their own right.
Definitely.
Um,
That influenced that whole battle rap era, the next a cappella era, that Battle of Supremacy, all that sort of stuff. I think in Australia, big time too. You know, I think I was the scene that carried on from that, and the WRC seemed to be the scene that carried on into the a cappella battle rap.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm assuming that you were at the Kerser 60 battle.
yeah, I was. Yeah,
And
I was the only one there, man. Me and Kerser won out, or just me and him. Like, fucking in Melbourne, fucking people shouting 60, people shouting Kerser. Fucking, it was wild.
now, I imagine also you were there watching him prep for that.
Yeah.
Tell us, like, from I guess from when it was like it was official and it was happening, tell us what it was like from your perspective watching him prepare for something like that, and then what it was like on the night.
Man, he had big things going on in his life then too. That's what a lot of people probably wouldn't understand. To see him like just take control and do what he does, and he's proved himself, man, many a times, and that was one of them where he's done that and put things to the back and taken care of business like he does. And yeah, he's a king of that.
What do you think of his performance on the night, and what do you think of 60's performance on that night?
It's a classic battle looking back, man. It's sick. Like, that holds a place in Australian history, man. Like, without being biased, I'll always believe that my brother won or whatever, because he brought that new raw, rugged style, and he was sharp, and he had the punches. 60 did equally really well too. You know what I mean? Like, that's some funny shit. It was good. It was a classic battle. I'm pretty sure both of them would be proud of, You know, I reckon.
Do you reckon they'd ever go again?
I don't know. I know they've spoken of it, but I can't comment on it, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Probably, but probably not. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, they both ended up going through, you know, things with fame and stuff. Yeah, it'd be an interesting one, man.
Another matchup that I thought would be interesting for kind of like different reasons, but still I think it would just draw a lot of attention, was Kerser versus All Day.
Yeah, true. Fuck, I'd love to see that.
Because they've had some back and forth.
Yeah, some funny shit. Yeah. Yeah, man, I know me brother. My brother will slap me, mate. He won't be able to hold himself. He will, like, he'll want to rap, but he'll be like, oh, like, you don't deserve to battle and rap. Like, he will. I know him. That's what happened. Straight out. I can't. That's like ruining the battle. But he's probably sitting there going, fucking hey, I want to battle him. You're ruining it. No promoter's going to put me on now. No, I don't know. Fuck. I know me brother.
How do you think the anticipation and you know, just the hype for something like that would be?
I reckon it'd be pretty crazy this day and age, man. There's a lot of people who like All Day, and there's a lot of people who like Kerser. Like, there's a lot of people who want to see All Day come down too, so Kerser could nab a lot of people there, bro. And like, it'd be fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
It'd be sick. Kerser rip him, bro. Or he used to be like a stand-up comedian and shit. He can be pretty funny. He's got a few battles up himself. Can be pretty funny, but Kerser can be funny and ruder and rap better.
He was on Sway in the Morning all day. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did, man. How embarrassing. Sorry, bro. That was so embarrassing, man.
You weren't digging that?
Oh, man. As an Aussie artist, Aussie hip-hop artist, Aussie whatever artist. Fuck no. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on, I guess, Aussie hip-hop in 2016?
Yeah. Oh, man, I think it's exciting, bro. It's exciting. Like, it's scary at the time. We've got like 100 million SoundCloud rappers out there all thinking they're the best, trying to prove shit, and you know what I mean? It's been diluted very much so, but at the same time there comes an energy and with that, you know, and like a lot of good people have gotten better over time, and there's a lot of people taking their shit serious and releasing albums now, which is a big thing to me. They're making that sort of other stuff seem irrelevant, you know. You really got to take that step to release it, and that's happened this year, like with quite a few artists that I've been watching over the years. And as far as shows and stuff go, people are starting to go out to shows again, and yeah, I think people are generally feeling it's not just Aussie hip-hop anymore, you know what I mean? Like for the last 10-15 years in the public eye it's been like Aussie hip-hop, but now there's artists who are Aussie rappers but aren't considered Aussie hip-hop, you know what I mean? And that's a big thing in 2016. I think that fine line was not fine line, but that, what would you say, that label was sort of, that label's deteriorating, you know, and that legacy won't, but that label is deteriorating. Yeah. Would you agree?
Well, yeah, because you can rap on a trap beat and that doesn't necessarily make it hip-hop.
Exactly.
Because I could rap on a pop beat and that doesn't make it hip-hop. You know, hip-hop, I guess, as a culture has certain parameters.
Yes, man.
To some extent.
Yeah,
without sounding jaded. You know, there's the debate of, is ASAP, you know, ASAP Mob, ASAP Ferg and Rocky, are they trap or are they hip-hop? You know what I mean? Like, well,
that's a tough one, man. Like,
well, I think it's both.
Yeah, how offended would those dudes be if they're like, you ain't calling me hip hop? But then
it's
again,
just
they're that
two.
different that they can kind of expect to be put outside that box. But I think people who are doing that are probably going for that, probably trying to be put outside that just hip hop box, which is only because hip hop has become in the public eye diluted. But the real hip hop's always going to be real. Good songs always going to be good, you know.
Do you think that radio play has had a positive or a negative impact on the whole thing?
In Australia, there's some great community radio stations out there that are definitely helping independent artists get played, artists that probably wouldn't get played elsewhere. There is some commercial radio starting to play stuff too that I know of, you know, some probably not such as radio-friendly stuff at night, which is starting to seep in there. But on the other hand, there's an avenue in Australia which you can take as an artist, which can pretty much guarantee success, right? If you've got the right formula and you've got the right thing. Now that avenue is the Triple J avenue, the festival avenue, the going on, becoming bigger avenue, you know? Fucking Triple J, the thing with that is they kind of make it hard for independent artists because, they can make it easy, like I said, and they can take you there. But if they don't like your shit, it won't get played. Now, that's what it comes down to. To me, that's so discriminative, man. Like, that's wrong, man. Like, the fact that they call themselves youth radio. I'm not going to sit here and bag out a radio station, man, but I'm explaining, you know. The fact that they... How can I say this right? Okay, so it comes down to the fact that it's controlled by one dude, more or less. And he'll get played a lot of the stuff, which he will approve for constant rotation. If he doesn't like that stuff, he won't approve of it for constant rotation. So that artist automatically misses out if he doesn't like them. Pretty sure I've been one of them, and I know my brother's been one of them, right? Okay, they call themselves youth radio. The youth in this country, a lot of the youth definitely wants to hear Kerser, you know what I mean? So that tells me straight away that they don't have the youth's interest in heart. Like, there's a lot of people, what about the youth in radio, in jails and rehabs and stuff who don't have internet, iPhones and stuff? They get the radio, and the only cool station that used to be able to play cool shit on, or that might be Triple J, but oh no, we've got Illy in all day and every other guy that sounds watered down and fruity, you know? And I think those kids miss out too, man. And I don't think they're aware of that, and I don't think they care, you know? And to me, that's a fucking problem, man. And I think that definitely needs to be addressed. And I like what you dudes are doing here, man. Fresh 92, you guys are an opposite example of that, you know, helping out independent artists. It's not controlled. It's, you know, you have a cool team here which seems to, seems to let you do what you know is right for the station, man. You get a bit of freedom, and I think that's where Triple J could learn a bit from, man. Straight out from experience and from, I'm down with How, and I'm down with the hip-hop show, man. And, you know, How's played my stuff. It's all cool, but, yeah, don't like how Triple J treats independent artists. They ruin punk, rock, hip-hop, and a lot of underground music in the country, so, yeah.
Now, you said that Kerser obviously went to the Jays for rotation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just shut him down straight away.
Yeah. Without going into specifics, from what I know, fucking said, no, this will never be played on Triple J. We don't like it.
And do you think it's because of the content?
Well, this song didn't have any bad content in it. Didn't have any swearing. It wasn't watered down pop, because that's not Kerser, but it was radio friendly. It was cool, man. Like, it could definitely was a lot more heartfelt and better than the other fruity stuff he was playing, and I can't work out why it wasn't played, man.
Could you imagine what had happened if the Jays got behind Kerser?
Yeah, I think there would be a slight backlash from their already existing market, but you look at that market and that's dwindling, man. They're struggling, like, you know what I mean? So I think it's about time they take a risk and start opening their minds a bit, you know? Because sticking being that arrogant, it's university radio. They should change themselves to university radio, not youth radio, because that's all like this trendy uni student stuff, you know, and it really is, man. And I'm not bagging out people go to props to people who study and research and stuff, but the trendy hipster thing definitely lives there, bro. And I think it's about time that they stop that shit, or at least play some other shit too.
Yeah, mix it up a little
bit.
When I
was a kid, man, Triple J was mad, bro. I used to hear heaps of underground music on that. Used to hear mad shit. Not anymore. Maybe once every now and then, you know? About time they stop that silly crap.
The last 2-7. Oh, yeah.